Tamara is here now, along with physical medicine composition specialist Dr. Mary Oates. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Dr. Oates, I'm glad we're talking about this today because visceral fat is truly the fat that hugs your internal organs. It's the kind, if you're at home and you pinch your belly, what you pinch, that's subcutaneous fat. That's not visceral fat. The visceral fat is the area below that. It literally is inside your abdomen, hugs your internal organs, and that is the one that causes a whole host of health problems. And so you're using this Corescan technology to actually look at Tamara and say, okay, this is how much visceral fat you have, and then you can hopefully take steps to improve it.
Exactly. To obtain the amount of visceral fat, we first do an eye scan, total body scan. And then with that information that gives us a total amount of fat, muscle, and bone in your body, then we use the Corescan software to drill down and find out how much of that fat, how much of the love handles and how much of the muffin top is really deep visceral fat and how much is subcutaneous fat.
And Tamara, not to scare you, but there's a reason why we have two hearts in front of you. Because we don't often think about fat and how it affects our internal organs. And we have the heart out here just to show everyone that this fat that lives on and in and around your organs truly does affect your overall health. So that's where this technology comes into play. So what do you say?
I'm ready.
Dr. Oates, take it away.
Okay. So you're going to come over here to the machine.
Okay.
You're going to lie down in the middle of the table. You're going to get positioned in the middle, and you're going to rest quietly. You can breathe normally, and the machine will sound a little bit like a copy machine, and it will do a head-to-toe scan of your body.
And this uses low-dose radiation?
This uses a very low dose of radiation. It's about the same amount of radiation you would get in an airplane for only an hour, or the amount of it.
So in other words, everyone's okay?
Everyone's okay. 3 to 6 feet, we're good. Okay. So what this does is it scans from head to toe. It will give us her total body fat, her total muscle mass, and her bone mass. And then we can show her the image, and we can also go over the values and tell her where that body fat is.
So that's it?
That's
Tamara,
it.
that was pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that was painless.
Come back over here because I think we're going to pull up your results here. And what are we looking at here, Dr. Oates?
Okay, well, first of all, there's going to be some good news, but there's also going to be some bad news. The first thing we show the patients is this pretty dramatic picture. I'm not sure what you think of that, but usually a lot of people think that that's not an accurate representation, and in fact, it's very accurate, and it's usually pretty motivational.
Yeah, it looks like a big guy that's laying on a table. Wow.
Well, that's you. That's your scan. And so what we're going to do is we're able to look at that from head to toe, and then we're actually able to look at subregions. We can tell you the fat in your arm or your leg, but for purposes today, we're going to look at the area right above your hip bones where the belly fat is. Okay. And so if we take a look at your skeleton, you have really solid bones, okay? You have at least the amount of bone that I would want a woman your age to have, so that's great news. Good. The really good news in your case is you have a lot more muscle than even my healthy, active, exercising women have. In your body, you have 111 pounds of muscle, okay? And that is what burns your calories. And my average healthy, exercising woman has about 90. So you've got a lot of good muscle to work with. Now the bad news. For your whole body, you have about 40% body fat, okay? That's about 11% higher than I'd like to see you. Okay?
Yeah, I know that's high.
Worse, you carry 52% around your waist, okay? And you're carrying 2 pounds of fat, 2.2 pounds of fat wrapped around your belly. So I know that...
And so you're discussing here, when you say wrapped around her belly, literally the visceral
the
fat
visceral
wrapped
fat.
around her internal organs. So that's what we've been talking about, is the dangerous fat.
Now, 2 pounds doesn't sound like very much, okay? But in our healthy women who exercise, who make it a priority to exercise 5 times a week, they have less than a pound of fat. They only have 2/3 of a pound of fat. So you have 4 times the amount of bad visceral belly fat than I'd like to see.